What's going on, everyone? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving's time with the Brooklyn Nets is very likely coming to an end, especially Kyrie Irving. I don't see Kyrie Irving playing another game with the Brooklyn Nets. I would actually be incredibly shocked if that happened. And Kevin Durant, he at some point is going to demand a trade once again. They did lose another game last night. They're still not looking good. They can't count on Ben Simmons. Kyrie Irving, he's probably never playing a game again, like I said. And so Kevin Durant at some point is going to want out. And at this point, the Brooklyn Nets might as well hit the reset button and get something for Kevin Durant. The issue is the Brooklyn Nets, they cannot tank. They don't own any other picks for the next 5 years. So they're not in a position to tank. And the problem was they didn't get a lot of offers that really kind of kept them in competition, that kept them in a position to succeed and make the playoffs and maybe even contend and things like that. And they have a lot of really good role players and a lot of really good shooters, but they don't have all the pieces together to be great defensively and all of those things, right? So it's no surprise that given the circumstances and just the speculation, we are getting more and more traction, it seems like, of these two being traded and potentially being traded together to the Lakers. A lot of people are talking about this, for real, and really sort of diving in and exploring this possibility of the Brooklyn Nets might actually do or consider this deal of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to the Lakers for Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. And it might seem far-fetched, but it's not. Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, if you look up the numbers and statistics and everything, they are two of the best duos in the league. Their operating that pick and roll is up there. They're number 4, I think, overall of pick and roll duos. Russ is playing incredible as a sixth man off the bench, but he's playing starter minutes. Him and Anthony Davis actually have a better win rate and percentage than LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They are really good together. Not just that, but defensively. Anthony Davis is most people's defensive player of the year so far and has been incredible on the defensive end. His offense has kind of been lacking, but defensively, he has been an absolute monster, and he's still giving you 23 a game. Russell Westbrook is number 2 amongst all point guards defensively and is top 14 defensively. These two are a huge catalyst and reason why the Lakers are a top 5 defense this year. And so you add these two to the team that the Nets have, they're actually a really good fit, right? Because you're going to get their defense, and all Brooklyn has is a bunch of shooters. Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, TJ Warren, all these guys that would be perfect around these two. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room would be Ben Simmons, right? Ben Simmons, how does he fit? Does he really work? Does he really make sense? Now, granted, you could have him come off the bench if you have to, or try to move him. And so it's not really out of the realm of possibility. And then when it comes to the Lakers, the one issue the Lakers have is scoring. If you go get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, that solves your scoring problem. You're probably one of, if not the best teams in the league with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and the team the Lakers have. As concerning as the Lakers team is, they would still be incredible, right? Because the one thing the Lakers have is defense. The one thing that they don't have is scoring. And if you got rid of Anthony Davis, you just go get a Hassan Whiteside or something like that. So now you got rebounding and shot blocking and stuff. That's all you're going to need. You have plenty of scoring, plenty of talent. There's no excuse if you're the Lakers. If the Brooklyn Nets really called up the Lakers and said, hey, we'll give you Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant for Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, and we want 2 firsts, I think the Lakers would do it immediately. Give up both firsts, give up Westbrook, give up Anthony Davis, and go get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I think this deal would be done immediately. It's the Brooklyn Nets. They're kind of tough right now. But to kind of give you an idea of hey, no, this is something that could really be happening. One NBA executive discussed the situation with Sam Amick of The Athletic. I'm assuming there's some sort of agreement with Kevin. Look, if you want to move, we'll move you. And we're not going to move you to New Orleans, or we're not going to move you to Sacramento, and we're not going to move you to Indiana. So if the best Brooklyn can do is the Lakers, then if I was the Lakers, that's what I'd be waiting on. And this was a interview in an article that was put out by The Athletic about Kevin Durant potentially going to the Lakers, and that the Lakers should wait and be patient because they have kind of an agreement with Kevin Durant, and if they can't find a better offer, the Lakers might end up being the best offer. Again, Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis are a duo that makes a lot of sense for Brooklyn. And they are kind of the opposite of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, especially Russ, right? Kyrie Irving, his big thing and the big problem that the Lakers or that the Brooklyn Nets have had is Kyrie Irving's lack of, dependency, right? And there were even reports this offseason that Sean Marks and Rob Pelinka sat and talked down, and they both talked about how they had issues with, their respective point guards, and that the Brooklyn Nets mentioned, one of the things that we wish we had was that Kyrie was more like Russell Westbrook and we could count on him. And that's what kind of sparked the whole Kyrie for Russell Westbrook to begin with, right? But the whole thought is, well, Kevin Durant doesn't want to play with Russell Westbrook. Well, if you trade Kevin Durant, now if you're Brooklyn, it makes a lot of sense to go get Russell Westbrook, especially the way he's playing right now. He's been playing great basketball. He's great defensively. Him and Anthony Davis are a great duo. You don't think Sean Marks knows all this? You don't think he knows the numbers? You don't think he knows how this would shape up and work out? And then you add these two to all the shooting and everything. You can't be much worse than you already are. This might actually be a fix for both teams. This might actually be a swap that makes a lot of sense for both teams. If you're Brooklyn, you're getting two guys that fit your roster better and are only going to help you defensively. And then if you're the Lakers, you get two guys that fit your roster better and are only going to help you offensively, which both teams really need, right? And the biggest concern with Anthony Davis would be, health, right? If you're Brooklyn. But, Kevin Durant hasn't played a ton of games the last few years. And especially as Kyrie Irving, at least Russell Westbrook, you can count on night in and night out. He's going to give you, 79 to 82 games a season. Anthony Davis, if he can come in, be that guy and be more consistent, that could be beneficial to them. Not just that, but what are your other options if you're Brooklyn? And this is kind of the point that many people are hitting on, right? Many people that are look, this could be a real thing, are looking at it as what is Brooklyn's other options? Yeah, they might get some draft picks. They can't tank right now. Yeah, they might get some young players. They can't tank right now. Usually when you go and you trade your superstar, you trade him to get to just rebuild. And you use your draft picks you have and you add the new draft picks and you go to, if you trade Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns, Phoenix is going to be one of, if not the best team in the league. Their draft picks are going to be useless to you. And Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton aren't going to keep you an upper team in the league. And then if you unless the Celtics, if the Celtics really want to trade Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Derek White, and a bunch of firsts, then yeah, that might be a better trade for Brooklyn. Not because those guys are better than Anthony Davis, but simply because they're younger and give you the potential, yes, to still be competitive, but also pieces to build around for the future, right? But if none of those things work out, the Lakers may end up just kind of stumbling into Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Right? I still think Kyrie Irving's coming to Lakers for, I think that's about as close to a sure thing as there is. I don't like to ever give 100% because you never really know. But I'm pretty confident that at some point, sooner rather than later, and it's kind of a matter of when, not if, Kyrie Irving is going to be a Laker. I just don't know when. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's relatively soon. And it makes sense to have Kevin Durant go with him, right? And you get Kyrie, KD, LeBron James, you're in a pretty good spot. Granted, they could always, also just swap. Let's say the Lakers don't want Kyrie now for whatever reason, which I don't think that's the case. I think that they would take Kyrie, especially if you get KD, and especially if KD wants Kyrie, because KD could be looking at it as I have LeBron as the leader to kind of keep Kyrie in check. I wonder what me, LeBron, and Kyrie could do together. That is a real thing that I think could happen. But if you can go get Kevin Durant, you go get Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James would be arguably the greatest trio in NBA history. I mean, it's incredible. Even if LeBron is declining, which many people think he is, you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to handle the scoring load. LeBron James is going to go get you 20 a night anyway, just because he's so crafty, talented, and just intelligent. He's going to be able to get you his points, right? I mean, he's doing it this year, and he's kind of having a rough year. Now, add Kyrie and Kevin Durant, you solve all of your scoring issues. You have the perfect distributor in LeBron James. You have arguably the best trio in the entire history of the NBA. You have definitely the best trio in the league, hands down, right now, and they're all like a perfect complement to each other. And you have a top 5 defense. So you probably have one of, if not the best offense, and you'd have a top 5 defense. You're a legit championship contender, and you're probably winning the championship this year. Like, you realistically probably are. You know, because who's gonna beat these guys in a 7-game series? You know, like Milwaukee maybe, but Kevin Durant almost single-handedly beat this Milwaukee team by himself. Like, now imagine if you had LeBron James in that series. That probably would have been a quick dismantle. Like, it's just I don't see a team being able to beat these guys with the roster that the Lakers have right now. You know, like they'd still have guys like Dennis Schroeder. You know, Walker's playing great for them. They could work out a deal to trade Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn to go get a center or something like that. You know, like, it's not unrealistic. It's not like completely far-fetched to try to go get something like that. Something worked out along those lines. I don't know. I think if it's on the table, Lakers got to do it. You know, but how long is it going to be before that happens is the other thing too. Because let's say it takes the Brooklyn Nets another month or two to decide. If you're the Lakers, I don't know if you could be that patient. Like, I don't know if you can. Because if the Lakers are, 5-20 by that time, even if you go get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, unless you win 25 straight games, you're probably not making the playoffs, right? Like, you might not even make the play-in. So, it might be a little too late, but I don't know. It's interesting because this is really starting to pick up traction, and all I keep hearing and reading from all these various sources and all these various reports, and I'm talking about, that one's from The Athletic. The Athletic is a credible site. Like, this isn't just some spam site. Like, you're hearing it from legit sites, legit sources that are Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving may be going to the Lakers. Like, that might be a legit thing. So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below.